it's Jeff here from Discover Double Bass. I've got another lesson for you. This one's following on from the initial left hand lesson, and we're going to be looking at the 6 most common problems that I see with left hand technique, and of course I'll show you how to put them right. So let's dive straight in and look at the 6 problems. So the first problem that I see is when people are playing a note that they bunch up the other fingers, and I think they do it to kind of support the hand by moving the fingers across. If it was the last note that you're going to play of the piece, that's fine. The problem comes that when you want to play another note, you have to separate the fingers back out, and you may or may not now be in tune. So problem number 1 is bunching up the fingers and not maintaining hand shape. Have a look and make sure that you're not doing that yourself. Number 2, this is to do with the little finger, and it's a failure to maintain an arch on the little finger. And if you just let me explain a little bit more. If you stretch out and you're struggling with the stretch, you might make the little finger, flat, and you play using the pad rather than the fingertip, and you can see there's one movement coming from the first knuckle there. That's not what we're trying to do. We want a gentle arch. Now I know you won't be able to arch as much as in the other fingers because of the stretch, but try to just have a gentle arch and play through into the fingertip. This also applies in the first finger as well. Sometimes I see people kind of doing this. Try to just keep the arch in the fingers. So the third problem is one that you will have heard before, but I just want to look in a bit more detail at that problem, and that's to do with collapsing at the knuckle. So I think you'll be aware about not collapsing at the first knuckle. That's very obvious, but just check by using the mirror that you're not collapsing at the second, or even at the third, the larger knuckle, that your whole hand isn't collapsing. It's really important just to keep an eye on that. Use the mirror, look and see what's happening, and you'll make some really good progress with that. So number 4 is related to the previous one, and this is about collapsing the whole hand. A really good way to check this is play the open G, play the low G on the E string, play them both together, and you should be able to keep the G ringing. And the problem is, if you're doing this, where you collapse at the kind of third knuckle, the whole hand down, occasionally I see this, so the gap, there is no gap here. It needs to be a natural arch all the way from the shoulder, through the hand, into the fingertip. Be careful that you're not collapsing at that part of the hand and choking off those notes. You may need to play those, and you need to maintain the hand shape as well. So problem number 5 is with the first finger. It's that sometimes people seem to be, instead of stretching out from the middle of the hand in the 2 different directions, they start with the first finger kind of angled, so you approach it from above rather than from this direction. You can see I'm pointing up from below, and now I'm pointing down from above. And it moves the finger around, so you're kind of like this. Almost like you're in line with the string rather than playing across them. And when you do that, you end up reducing the span of the hand, so you're unable to play the 3 notes in tune. Just check that you're not doing that, and if you need a bit of help, think about this finger extending up in this direction away from you, maybe towards your own head or to the scroll. So the final problem is raising the fingers away from the fingerboard whilst you're playing a note. So if you do this, I'm putting the pressure into my little finger, pushing down, and I'm pushing away at the same time. It is really common. Now if you're using a heavy vibrato, like this for instance, you may choose to make that choice, but in regular playing, you keep the other fingers down. Don't push in 2 different directions, try and be relaxed, try and use your arm weight and your hand weight, and then you'll be able to keep the tension out of your hand and hopefully maintain the correct hand shape. So I hope you've enjoyed the lesson today. Don't forget to rate, comment or subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and if you'd like some more double bass lessons, head on over to discoverdoublebass.com.